Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode is all about the newish Viseart Siren Theory palette. It's the palette that is peachy in tone. So if you're interested in seeing some swatches, watch me do a demo, and give you my final thoughts and review on this palette, then just keep on watching. So yesterday I just posted my review and swatches and demo of the Absinthe palette, and this is the Siren palette which was released along with the Absinthe palette, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago at this point. So I've been able to play around with these palettes a little bit. I purchased this one along with the Absinthe one off of the Muse Beauty Pro website. They are $45 each, and this is in the Viseart Theory palette format. There's 6 shades, 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. They're in these palettes that are magnetized, so these pans pop out very, very easily. And it comes, if you're unfamiliar with these, it comes in this envelope. You can just slide the palette in and out of it, or you can toss it away if you want. And then these just are magnetized. You can pull this tab up and the shadows fall open, and there's a nice mirror inside. Like the Absinthe palette, I'm gonna go across and then down. So here is the light matte shade and the light shimmer shade. The medium peach shade and the golden shimmer shade. And lastly, here is the dark matte and the darkest shimmer. Alright, so there are all the swatches for the Siren palette. If you'd like to see me do a demo of this eye look, that's coming up next, and then after that I will be doing a final thoughts review on this palette. Okay guys, I'm going to start with the lightest matte color here. I'm going in with my Tom Ford number 13 brush, and I'm going to slowly start to warm up my crease area here. I'm going to take a little bit smaller of a blending brush. This is the Hakuhodo J5533 brush, and I'm going to go into the mid-tone matte shade here, and I'm going to continue deepening up the crease area. I'm going to go in with a little bit of a pointier, smaller blending brush, and this is the Hakuhodo S142, and I'm going to go into the darkest matte shade. I'm going to add this to my outer V and also add this to my crease area. Whoa, what is happening? So I thought I cleaned my brushes off, but I think I had some other shadow in that brush, so cleaning it off again. Hopefully I can blend that away, dust that away a little bit. I think this is from the Absinthe palette. Okay, I'm going to take my first blending brush and see if I can just sort of sweep this dark shadow away. Alright, let's try that again. I've got the S142 and I'm going into that dark matte again. Okay, I'm actually going to try a different brush. I'm going to go in with the Hakuhodo J5523. This is a flatter shader brush, and I'm going to use that with the dark matte shade. Yeah, that is better. So my eyes are pretty different right now because of that dark shadow that I got in there. Let's see if I can fix this situation. And then I'm going to take my blending brush, the one that I first used, go into this light matte shade again, and just use this to blend out the edge up here. And then I'm going to take this peachy shimmer shade up at the top. I'm going to use my Sonia G Builder 2 brush, and I'm going to lay this down all over the lid. Next, I'm going to take the pencil 2 brush from Sonia G. I'm going to go into this gold shade here, and I'm going to pop that on my inner corners. And next, I'm going to take the Sonia G pencil 1 brush. I'm going to go into this dark matte shade, and I'm going to line my lower lash line with it. I'm going to take another pencil brush, and this is the one from Tom Ford. It's the number 14 brush. I'm going to go into this darker shimmer shade, and I'm going to just add that right on top of the matte shade that I added to my lower lash line. Alright, that's it for the eyeshadow. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So I just finished up the rest of my makeup. I added the new Tom Ford Lip Lacquer in Copper Chic, and I love it. I love it with this eyeshadow palette. I think it's a great pairing. Anyway, so this eyeshadow palette, let me give you my review and my final thoughts. If you're into peach colored shades, if you're into warm tones, this is kind of a no-brainer palette. I think this is beautiful. This is typical Viseart shadows. I think they perform beautifully. I think they blend really well. I think they're really pigmented. I love their shimmer shades in these Theory palettes. I think they're much better than the ones in the 12 pan. There's a lot more punch to them. I think they're really, really beautiful. And the one thing I didn't like in the Absinthe palette was that there were like little micro glitters or little bits of glitter in the gold and the lightest shade. And there aren't any sort of micro glitters in the 3 shimmer shades in this palette. So I do like that. My one criticism for this particular palette is I don't think that the shades, like there's enough range. Like in the Absinthe, it goes from a very, very light bone colored matte to very, very dark, almost black matte green. And the same with the shimmers. It has like a very light pearly color, it goes to gold, and then there's like a nice green shimmer. So I'm sure they didn't want to imitate the exact kind of range in this palette, especially since they were releasing them at the same time. But because of that, I don't feel like it's easy to get a full look from here. I think I would have liked this matte if it was just a little bit deeper, if it was just a little bit more brown. And same with this shimmer shade. I think this could have been a little bit deeper because once you get these two on the eyes, I think they kind of serve a similar purpose. The shades are different. This is a little bit more brown. This is a little bit darker. This is definitely lighter. But I think you would use them in the same instances. So that's my one criticism of this palette, is that I don't feel like there's enough of a shade range. But because this is part of the Theory family, and because these palettes are magnetized, you can very, very easily pop out these pans. I don't think it's that big of a deal because you probably have some of the other ones, and if you do, you can very easily swap these out and kind of play around with what you want. So I think these 6 shadows are an excellent addition to the Theory family. I think it really rounds it out. The first 3 Theory palettes that they came out with, they were really kind of basic. They sort of set the tone. There was Cashmere, Minx, and Chroma. And so you had a cool, a neutral, and more of a warm. And then Viseart has sort of built on that. They had the Amethyst and the Nuance, and now they have the Siren and the Absinthe. And so the family is growing. So I think that this is a really, really great addition to the whole Theory palette family. And then throw in the Grand Pro Volume 1 in there, and you're pretty much all set. You have all the shadows that you will ever need. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please comment down below if you have any questions whatsoever. Subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video.